Welcome to the Building Web3 Podcast. Today, my good friend Fran, he's the founder at Giza. Before we get too deep into Giza, talk to us a little bit about your background. How did you get into this decentralized AI space?
Great. First, thank you, Jax, for inviting me to the podcast. And regarding my background, I started from AI. I've been doing AI for 10 years before all this boom of LLMs and agents and everything, more into traditional machine learning. I was previously head of ML of Adidas, building real-time recommender systems on how to create like better personalized experiences oriented to retail, and previously also head of ML of one of the biggest banks in Europe, which is BBVA, also building production grade ML infrastructure and helping data scientist teams bring their solutions into production. In 2019, I started diving into crypto specifically and what these smart contracts can enable. And then I discovered DeFi, and this like open up like a whole new world for me in terms of possibilities and what we can improve from the real world in terms of infrastructure, products, and what we offer to people, and started diving there more.
Got it. And talk to us a little bit about your company. What are you guys hoping to accomplish there?
Yeah, so at Giza, our main focus now is on AI agents, but with specifically targeting the DeFi ecosystem, where in DeFi we have like so many protocols in multi chain environments where like it's very hard to really understand the whole ecosystem. There is always like hundreds of protocols being launched, a lot of liquidity being fragmented across many different chains, but there is like no good solution on how you can unify all these deal opportunities, how to keep up with all the latest products and primitives that are being launched. And so with our AI agents, we bring DeFi into a more like automated place where these agents automate the whole liquidity system for you, the liquidity management, but also we felt like forgetting on how to manage risk and what is your preferences and how to add a personalization layer on top of all these protocols to have new structured products on top of all these great foundational DeFi infrastructure.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about like how somebody goes about using Giza to set up these AI agents. Like, they come into a dashboard and they select a predefined set of agents? Is it you guys are helping them create their own agents?
Yeah, at the beginning, we're more focused on creating standalone agents, which are like a specific purpose to a structured product. And the way this works is very seamless for the user. You just need to have an email or just a wallet that you can connect to. And you can automatically, thanks to these new primitives and technology like construction, connect your liquidity to that. And we can, from there, automate your whole liquidity into like the best yield opportunity. So depending on what you're looking for, if it's yield, if either it's just stability or risk awareness. So in that side, users just connect, sign transaction, which basically gives like limited access to your portfolio to manage your liquidity, and it will be like automatically and in an intelligent way allocated across like different chains and protocols.
Yeah, and for people that would be a little bit concerned, like, oh my gosh, I'm giving over like access to my wallet for some AI agent. Talk to us a little bit about like maybe some of the safeguards and some of the key features that specifically you guys have implemented.
Yeah, in terms of the agents themselves and the functionality that they offer, we really like this term, which is trust minimization. And what we offer with these agents is like something very unique in terms of value proposition, where every kind of decision making that the agent is doing for the user in terms of how it allocates liquidity or where it's sending the funds is it's verifiable by nature, which means that, for example, we can generate a secret proof of this decision making, and users can verify, okay, this is something that the agent made. Is not like something that is like manually managed or whatever. And as a second key feature is that everything is self-custodial. In the end, we don't have access to your assets. You are in full control. You can always stop the agent from working with your funds. And how we do this is through this new technology, which is now is growing faster, which is a construction, and specifically with an enabling part, which is season keys, which gives like very limited and constrained access to your funds, like for example, defining which protocols do you want to interact with. Okay, so I just want the agent to interact with Uniswap USDC pools, nothing else. So the agent will only be able to create transactions for that specific pool, and everything else will be rejected from the policy. You can also like define the time you want this season key to be activated. Like I just want my agent to operate for 3 months, or from 1 week, 1 month. You can have the flexibility to define all of these preferences, as well as how much liquidity you want to allocate from that. It's not like, okay, you have unlimited access to my USDC or my ETH. You can establish like, okay, I just want like a 10% of my portfolio to be automated through the agent in order to create new job opportunities for me.
Mm-hmm. And talk to us a little bit about, how you guys have built this platform. Like, was it, I assume it's very bleeding edge tech, so it must have been relatively difficult. Talk to us a little bit about the building process of these agents.
Yes, in the building process of these agents, there are like two key parts on the infrastructure or the platform that we have built. The first one is all related to a construction, how we manage these policies and season keys for the users in order to have access for this automation without leaving the user's wallet. And to manage all these policies has been quite challenging, where we want to make everything as permissionless as possible, where the user always has full control of their funds. They can always remove the season keys, withdraw the funds from the agent, and everything completely open. And that was quite a challenge, but we made it like very scalable, where we act as the operational layer, but everything can be like settled completely on chain. The second part is how we make sure that you can trust these agents, because in the end they are like managing your money. So you want to make sure that they don't fuck up with your money or like send it to the wrong address or anything like that. So we put a lot of emphasis on these verifiability properties of the agents, where everyone can check how the agent created decision making, what was the decisions that they make in order to allocate the funds, and everything in a cryptographic, verifiable way. And creating this infrastructure was also a quite challenging problem to solve, because it involves not just the strategy itself, but you also need to gather all this data from the chain. So you need to gather the data, interpret the data in order to generate some decision making on top of the smart contracts and the interactions. So putting all these pieces together was quite a challenge.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it was quite tricky. So talk to us a little bit about like, what is the tech stack you guys are using? Like, how do you build an AI agent?
Yes. To build these AI agents, we automate the whole process in terms of the deployment and operations of that. So the only part that we expose is an easy to use SDK where you can define your strategy. To that strategy, you can connect any kind of data source that you want. You can connect like Subgraph, APIs, or connect to any kind of service of your choice. And then you can generate the whole workflow of how this strategy is going to work. Like first check my balance, then send to Uniswap, and based on that, I know, go to Aave. And this is something that you can do through easily through an SDK in Python. And underneath, we generate the verifiable workflow that generates the required proof of the decision making of the agent when it executes. Aside of that, all the infrastructure is automated in a centralized way, where we generate the proofs and and everyone can verify on the client side or on chain, and the whole account structure infrastructure is purely on chain.
And then talk to us a little bit about the status of the project. Is this something I can implement on my wallet right now? Is this something you guys are looking to launch? Talk to people about like where this is in the
Mhm.
development life cycle.
Yeah, currently we are focused on just working with our partners where we are like creating specific use cases for these agents, where they are going to be released by the end of October, the first batch of use cases. And for now, everything goes through a straight pipeline of partnerships and use case building. And further down the line, by the end of the year, we plan to open source this whole SDK for how to create these agents, how you can permissionlessly participate into the ecosystem in order to automate or create strategies that automate portfolios of the wallets.
Got it. And to talk to us a little bit about like what's the vision here? Where I assume it's that DeFi is hard. It's very difficult doing like portfolio rebalancing, all these different types of things. Like finding the best yield is sometimes quite tricky. Is it that
Mhm.
everyone's going to have their own AI agent that's going to completely automate their investing life cycle? Like talk to us a little bit about like what's the overarching like vision if this is successful? Where is it in like 3 to 5 years?
Yep. Till now, the focus of the whole like industry in DeFi has been like, okay, let's create protocols. Let's create these decentralized or foundation infrastructure with protocols like Uniswap, Aave, Morpho, etc. But the main goal that we have is okay, how we can use this whole infrastructure to create a new set of products that create more value for the user in terms of what they want to achieve. It's like I see this as the current protocols are like the infrastructure or the bare bones of banks, and on top of that, you have products that you offer to your retail. And what we want to build is this new set of products that creates your own bank in the end. Like you create uh, this strategy that automates a specific part of your wallet, and you just can plug it in, and you can plug in like many different strategies, and you create this specific automated set of portfolio which is automated and risk managed by agents. So in the end, you have like a full army of agents that work for you, and your preferences completely personalized for your needs.
Absolutely. And talk to us a little bit about like what do you think? Because obviously we're both in the AI space. What do you think is a really good opportunity? Because we have a lot of builders that watch the show. We are always looking for like startup ideas for people that they can go off and build. Obviously, you think AI agents are great. What else in this space do you think is like a great opportunity for like builders to get involved in?
Yeah, great question. I think that there is, aside of agents, there is like a great opportunity on how we can use everything that we have in this decentralized environment to improve the capabilities of AI. And I think there is like a great potential, especially in decentralized training, especially with the latest breakthroughs on how to efficiently train really big models like LLMs in a very efficient way, very close to the performance that you can have in a very centralized environment. And I think the last few months there has been like a very good breakthroughs, and we are going to see like a big explosion on these capabilities for creating uh, new protocols and new products that actually help the AI ecosystem. Aside of this category as well, I think AI has a lot to say into how we interact with DeFi, and how efficient it is, especially in terms of personalization. One of the lacking things in general in crypto is personalization. Like your wallet is the same as my wallet to a protocol. There is no difference there. And I think if we are able to leverage all transaction history, or how do you work with the blockchain with protocols to create better products, I think that's a great category to explore.
Absolutely. And talk to us a little bit about, you know, do you feel like all these AI agents will completely take over I don't know, portfolio management, or do you feel like what's your opinion on like the future of work? Do you feel like I think McKinsey says like 70% of things will be automated, like jobs?
Yeah, yeah. I think that agents in the end will replace almost every interaction that we make, for example, with the blockchain. I mean, as doing the whole operational part of interacting with protocols to swap, lend, or bridge, I think everything is going to get in the end being automated by agents that just they just work for us in our own benefit. In the end, all these uh, technical things that we need to do with chains like swap ETH or warp ETH because it's more efficient for specific things, or whatever it's from base to mainnet. These things will be abstracted away by users for users, and as well like the whole uh, identity of chains. Like we will have like many different chains that the user will know. I mean, they will be there, but for the user will be completely transparent, and it comes in with this concept of chain abstraction, which is very interesting as well.
Yeah, so I'm actually writing some developer docs for a company specifically on that topic. Talk to us a little bit about like what's been the biggest challenge for you guys? Is it getting people to trust the AI agent will act in their best interest? Is it more so the technical burdens of building the product? Talk to us about some of the like challenges and how you guys have addressed them.
Yeah, the main challenge is how to provide the best value to the user, right? Like because we need to understand what are the preferences. In the end, we are not creating a protocol. We are not creating a infrastructure for lending or an infrastructure for AMMs. We're creating a product. So for that product, we need to understand what the users want. It's like better yield, is better risk awareness, um, and for that, we really need to do a lot of user research on understanding what they need as a product, and how we uh, adjust the product requirements and the product implementation to actually build something that is useful and something that users really want. And finding a balance between what are these value propositions and how do we execute that in a technical way is something very challenging that as we don't want to really like build something that is very fancy in terms of tech, but that no one uses. So in the end, it's about how we provide the best value to that.
Absolutely. And finally, like where can people kind of take a look at? Well, actually, real quick, what are some upcoming milestones and developments that people can look forward to from you guys?
Yes, for now, everything that we are doing regarding the agents is still not public. Everything is being in development and is going to be releasing, as I said, by the end of October. That's where our first product is going to launch with a very big partner that is going to um, provide a lot of value in terms of the adoption of agents and this whole um, new set of products. And from there, we are going to increasingly release new products as we go towards the permissionless development of these new agents on the platform with the release of the SDK. But that is going to be coming by more by the end of the year than now.
Sorry, there's a new question popped up for me. So you guys obviously are interacting with a bunch of DeFi protocols. Is there like a standardized SDK that is enabling you guys to talk to them, or is it like, hey, we send out an intent and this hits a solver network, and then like the user, they don't need to know about all of the implementation details?
That's really good question, and that's one of the challenges because in the end, like every protocol is implemented in its own way. So some protocols use proxies, some don't, some have like a different contract structure. Some of them have the data available, others don't. So there is like no standard way on how to work with that, and that's something that we are like trying to abstract away with the release of the SDK, but is a complete challenge in how to do this integration. That's why we are like for now opting in more for this custom integration with partners where we understand very well how the smart contracts work, and we integrate it natively with the season key and the construction infrastructure that we have. And from there, we are like going into a more progressively open platform to interact with. But nothing related to intense or solvent networks for now.
Not yet. Okay. Well, I have some people I can introduce you to that might be helpful there. And finally, where can people learn more about what you guys are building? Maybe they want to get involved with the agents, shout out any kind of social media, any kind of Twitter presence you guys have.
Yes, regarding the agents, we have some content that is released, especially on our blog, where like we mentioned a little bit how we are like thinking on the agents concept, especially like looking at how we do it at Giza with this verifiability. And all very soon in the next few weeks, you can see like a lot of content being released in our socials as well as the launch of the product that we're going to launch with this new partner.
Perfect. Well, everyone go get involved with, go follow Fran online, and let's continue building the future of Web3.